Hello everybody! In this video we're going to be talking about how to make a function called counting_fn, counting function, that does the following. So I already have a function kind of template started here, so if you're coding along, this would be a good place to, or maybe not just quite, maybe pause after I finish explaining and kind of get the skeleton of the function set up. But the basic idea is we want a function where as an input we're going to have a vector v and a number r, and as output we want to return how many times r appears in v. So for instance, if we pass the function the vector 1, 3, 3, 3, 3, 5, comma 3, this is saying how many times does 3 appear in this vector, and 3 appears 1, 2, 3, 4 times, so the output should be 4. So this is a good example of how we're going to be able to combine our for loops and our if statements that we've been learning about in the past couple of videos. So like I said, if you're coding along, maybe pause here, get the function set up, and then I'll meet you back here. So, okay, how do we do this? We're going to do this in two different ways. The first way I'm going to show you is a very typical programming way. So regardless of programming language, this basic structure is going to work, and it's a very common pattern. So please let us know if you have questions about it, if there's anything that doesn't make sense, because this is going to show up a lot throughout your programming adventures, basically. So what we're going to start with is we're going to say for x equal to v. So what this is going to do is it's saying go through the vector v and just look at every entry. So first, if we're looking at this example here, x is going to be 1, then 3, then 3, then 3, then 3, then 5. Then what we're going to do is we're going to check is x equal to r. So is 1 equal to 3? No. Is 3 equal to 3? Yes. So we're going to have if x equals r, and what did I do wrong here? We need double equals, right, to check equality. So if x is equal to r, then we want to take our variable c and we want to increment it by 1. So we want to increase the count by 1. Now, there's going to be an error at first if I'm going to end the if statement and the for loop. Even like this, there's going to be an error. Does anybody see what it is? It's that c, as it stands right now, MATLAB doesn't know what c is. So we're saying, yes, c is something that returns, but if I say c equals c plus 1, c is not defined yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to initialize the count to be 0. So we're saying, assume the count is 0. We're going to go through every element of our vector. If we find one that's equal to 3, we're going to update our count by 1. So let's save our function. And let's go run it in the command window. All right, so let's do counting_fn. Let me move my mouse so you can see. Let's try the vector 1, 3, 3, 8, 3, 3, comma 3. And we can see here we get an answer of 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm very happy that the only thing that's been printed to the command window is this answer equals 4. So if we go back to our script, notice the use of semicolons. That made sure that nothing got printed to the screen. And another reminder that we don't need semicolons after our for and if statements. So okay, that's looking pretty good so far. Let's test it with a few other. So let's say I want to do maybe 5. That's something that never appears. So I can see that returns 0. We could try it with 8. That appears just once. And we could try it with even like something like pi. That returns 0 because pi is never in there. So looks like our function is working. But like I mentioned, this structure that we have here, if you've taken another programming course before, you've definitely seen this pattern. If this is your first time programming, this is a pattern you will see many, many times. There's nothing wrong with it. But the nice thing about MATLAB is that it very much cares about vectors and matrices, and it's very optimized and specialized for dealing with those. So any way that we can kind of make use of vectors in our code is going to be a lot better than kind of doing this standard way. So I'll show you what I mean by that in a second, but let's go back to the command window, and I want to remind everyone of a few different commands that we have available in MATLAB. So let's say, again, I have the vector v equal to 1. Let's do 3, 3, 8, 3. maybe 3 again. And remember now I can say v double equals 3. And what that's going to do is it's going to return a logical array where it checks every element. So first it says, is 1 equal to 3? No, it puts 0. Is 3 equal to 3? Yes, it puts 1. Is 3 equal to 3? Yes, it puts 1. So you can see everywhere there's a 1, it means that that entry in v was equal to 3. So notice if I sum up these ones, if I do 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, that gives me 4. And that tells me how many of these entries were equal to 3. So I can use the word sum and then do v equals 3. And you can see that gives me 4, because what's that done is it's just added 0 plus 1 plus 1 plus 0 plus 1 plus 1. So using this idea, we can define a new function. I'll call it new counting function. And let's make this a new function. So new counting function. We're still going to have input of v and r. We're still going to have an output of c. But now, what took a couple lines in the other function, we're now going to say, so remember we're going to do sum is v equal to r, and we're going to set that equal to our variable c. So if this doesn't make sense yet or isn't clicking, pause, kind of go back to the command window, play around again with these double equals and summing up. But otherwise we can save. Oops, save. Let's go back to the command window. Let me clear the screen. Now I can say new counting function. Let's try 1 3 3 8 3 3. And we can see we get the exact same answer 4. We can say how many times does 8 show up? Just once. How many times does something like pi show up? 0 times. So just to reiterate, 2 different ways of making a function that does the same thing. So this first one that we did is the very common standard programming way. Almost any programming language, you're going to be able to do something like this of this shape. And this new counting function, this was really making use of the fact that MATLAB is specialized to work with vectors. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.